Horror does not simply reside in the world of cinema. It can spill out in many different facets, whether that be video games, television, and even literature, with books being the ones to pave the way for the horror genre, going all the way back to Dracula and even Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. These are the top 5 horror books that deserve your attention. Let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, we have White is for Witching by Helen Oyemi. A ghost, vampire, haunted house story all in one. That's exactly what you get from Helen Oyemi and her novel White is for Witching, which was published back in 2009. The novel takes place on the cliffs near Dover, in a mysterious house where the Silver family resides. However, there is no peace in the home as the family is reeling from the loss of Lily, with her twins Miranda and Elliot and her husband all mourning the absence in very few words. However, it isn't just loss that is present within the home. There is a quiet rumbling, something festering, bending the minds of not just the readers but also the characters. Not to mention something is going on with Miranda, who has developed an eating disorder for non-edible items, descending into depression and suffering a complete mental break. At the home, however, it has become clear that the house has a personality of its own, attacking guests and terrifying its occupants. The book, more importantly, is a social commentary about xenophobia and acceptance, with the house turning on Miranda's girlfriend who is black, and the ghost within its walls exhibiting violent tendencies. Miranda must not only fight her inner demons, but also the demons that plague her home. It is truly a unique story, and an important one at that. What's even more unique about the novel is that it takes on many perspectives, including the house itself. If you haven't yet, definitely check this one out immediately. You will not be disappointed. Before we jump into number 4, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps us out a lot in the YouTube algorithm. Coming in at number 4, we have Broken Monsters by Lauren Bukes. One of 2 detective novels on our list, Broken Monsters was written by Lauren Bukes and published back in 2014. The story itself follows Detective Gabriella Versado, who works in Detroit's inner city, and as you would expect, she's seen her fair share of fatalities and bodies. However, there is a new case that is different from the rest, a half-boy, half-deer fused together. Yet this would prove to be the first of many, with more peculiar and more disturbing bodies being discovered across the city, with reality appearing to be tearing at the seams in this mind-bending body horror. No one is safe. Who is next? Versado's daughter is flirting with a potential predator online, while the local freelance journalist Jono is doing absolutely anything to get an exclusive on the case. But if you're Thomas Kane, you are simply trying to protect your homeless family. All these stories intertwine as detectives attempt to find the monster who is seemingly set on remaking the world as its own creation, a disturbing and violent creation at that. The novel is entrancing and near impossible to put down, with Bukes' style of writing drawing you deeper and deeper and deeper into the book with each turn of the page. Not to mention the horror is crippling, with every word etching a place in your mind. This isn't a story you forget quickly, with it being violent, frightening, and incredibly clever. Coming in at number 3, we have Last Days by Brian Evanson. I think it's safe to say that we love anything cult related here on Top 5, and Last Days falls right into that category. Written by Brian Evanson and published back in 2009, Last Days is a mystery horror that follows a detective, Klein, who is kidnapped by a religious cult who believes that amputations bring you closer to God, which is baffling. The detective is there to attempt to uncover who the cult leader is and bring an end to the madness. However, in order to stop it all, will he have to sacrifice something to solve the mystery, and how far is he exactly willing to go? Last Days is incredibly intense and profoundly unsettling, with it feeling like a tumbling down the rabbit hole thriller mixed with something far more sinister. The novel is the perfect blend of body horror and psychological horror, with a dash of black comedy in there as well, with the novel even going on to win the best horror novel of 2009. It is oddly disturbing yet also delightful, and while the experience of reading it might not be the most enjoyable, it is certainly an experience nonetheless. I mean, when you put cults and mutilation together, you're never going to get something all that pleasant, that's for sure. But if you want the feel of David Lynch meets David Cronenberg on paper, then certainly give Last Days a shot. Coming in at number 2, we have Dark Corners by Ruth Rendell. The final novel by Ruth Rendell before her death, Dark Corners, is one that explores the themes of writer's block. And despite being a psychological crime fiction novel, the book is truly terrifying, digging right under your skin and making you feel all kinds of claustrophobic. The story itself follows protagonist Carl Martin. He's not necessarily likable, with him making many mistakes that lead to key moments in the story. One of the major mistakes he makes is renting out the upstairs apartment to a man named Dermot. He seems nice at first, but all is not well. Dermot blackmails Carl, begins to manipulate him, and turns his life upside down and inside out. Now, what makes the story so damn terrifying is the simple fact that the villain is human. A neighbour, a seemingly nice neighbour at that. It creates an element of authenticity. It feels like this could happen to any one of us, because the harsh truth is you never know what people's true intentions are. You never know who on the surface might seem sweet and genuine, but behind closed doors is a raging psychopath. Not to mention there is nothing supernatural about the villain in this novel. He is human through and through, just as evil as they come, thus bringing terror to everyday life. How can Carl escape it? What master plan will he have to come up with to survive? This is a novel that is certainly worth a read this summer. Go check it out. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have Maynard's House by Herman Raucher. I can guarantee after learning about Maynard's House, you'll all be heading onto Amazon or into your nearest retailer to purchase a copy. And trust me when I say you will not be disappointed. First published back in 1981, Maynard's House is a horror novel written by Herman Raucher and tells the story of a young Vietnam War veteran named Austin who is suffering from severe post-traumatic stress disorder. He learns that his best friend Maynard has been killed in combat, and to Austin's surprise, Maynard left him his home, a historical site in which a woman was once accused of witchcraft and ultimately killed around the Salem witch trials era. So Austin heads to the home located deep in the woods of northern Maine, and is initially enthralled by the home. However, mysterious events begin to take place in the house, and the snow outside begins to pile up, trapping Austin inside of the home with whatever is lurking there within. Now, the entire novel is a commentary on the effects of war, with Austin having to come to terms with the trauma he experienced in combat, with his sanity deteriorating and himself becoming more and more paranoid of the home, and what is residing in it with him. Is it the witch that the locals so often speak about, or is it something else, something from within his own mind? The novel also touches on the themes of loss, with Austin being forced to deal with the grief of losing his best friend in war, as well as the traumatic events he experienced in his own life. The book is certainly heavy, but it is a truly effective haunted house story that will linger with you long after you put it down. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any horror books that we missed? What is your favorite horror novel? Let me know down below. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos, Top 5 Worst Horror Movie Death Scenes Part 5. N.A. Parry said, I could listen to Lucy saying Frankie Cheeks all day, I can't be alone. Do I say Frankie Cheeks weird? I think I say it like everyone else, Frankie Cheeks. Maybe it's my accent, I'm not sure. Bill Cox said, channels like this are far better than what is on commercial TV. To be honest, I don't remember the last time I watched commercial TV. But I agree, thank you. I think that's a huge compliment. I appreciate that. We're just here to give you facts on everything horror. Recommend movies, recommend books, recommend shows, everything. But thank you, I really appreciate that. Lee Noble said, we definitely need a love button because Top 5 Scary videos are always amazing and Lucy will always be queen. Thank you. I agree. I think YouTube needs to add a love button so you can just love me all the time. But thank you. I hope I'll always be the Dark Queen. I don't ever want to stop being the Dark Queen. Maybe I'll get a Dark Queen tattoo. Therefore, you can never rob me of my title. I will always be the Dark Queen. The Bright Side said, this YouTube channel is one of the reasons I'm still alive. That was a very profound statement to read. I'm glad this channel has helped you. This channel has certainly helped me more than any of you guys know. I know who the commenter is. They run the Central Dark fan account, and I appreciate everything you do. You leave lovely comments, you make amazing fan art, and we appreciate you. So I'm glad this channel has helped you. That's all we want, is to help people, inspire people, and so on. Maria C said, you're my favorite host and you're so awesome, Lucy. When you read that people were saying mean things about you, all I can think of is why. You were such a lovely person. Great video as usual. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Obviously, I'm never going to please everyone. It's just not how the world works. Everyone has different opinions. While you might like me, another person might not. And that's okay. Not everyone's going to like you. I've learned that. It's just I learn it on a grander scale because people comment it every day. But it's okay. The majority of you have lovely things to say, and I appreciate that. Paranormal Paratrooper Darren Ward said, any plans to do some different videos that aren't movie related? Yes, we're actually pumping those out right now. I believe we did mysteries that have just been solved, Bermuda Triangle horror stories. We have ghost ship stories coming up, train stories, urban legends, creepypastas, lots of content coming out that's not just horror movie related. So get ready. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And until next time, I will see you later. Oyeyemi. Oyemi. Coming in at number 5, we have White is for Witching by Helen Yo. What's even more unique about the novel is that it takes on many different perspectives. I'm just making up. No, it's not a horror movie. I'm just making up. Like, I just am. I'm legitimately just lying. What the am I saying? I mean, do what you can with that. Intense? No. What am I saying? I'm trying to say it's a compliment. I mean, it's a compliment. My god. I need to script my answers. I'm so sorry to whoever edits this. Oh my god, Lucy. Why are you an asshole today? Why am I an asshole today?